I wasn't expecting Caitlin Clark to be coming back this early, but ESPN put out an article earlier this week kind of summing up. They was predicting Caitlin Clark to be back by August the 12th. Now, this just came out of the pipeline of the Indiana Fever front office. Let's pull it up right now.
The Golden Goose is set to return, and the entire basketball world can feel the tension rising. After weeks of silence and wild speculation, Caitlin Clark's injury update has finally arrived. She's been listed as a game-time decision. The news has sent tremors through the WNBA community. The Indiana Fever's cornerstone star, the league's ultimate ratings draw, and arguably the most influential figure in women's basketball, is preparing to lace up her sneakers once again.
Effing Clark is a game-time decision. She is a game-time decision. She is, as far as I'm aware, someone said she's listed as questionable on the app. Someone said on the app she's listed as questionable. But she is a game time decision, apparently. Look, if we're going to be honest, no, she's a game.
When Caitlin Clark steps back onto that court, it's more than just a comeback. It's a revival of the league's heartbeat. Her return isn't merely about one athlete recovering. It's about reigniting the spark that keeps the WNBA alive. Without their brightest star, the league has been struggling, with ratings plummeting and fan engagement fading fast. But now, hope is returning, and everyone inside the organization knows exactly what's at stake. The future of the WNBA, the sponsors, and the headlines all orbit around one name. Caitlin Clark isn't just returning to play, she's returning to save the game.
Clark may be back, and that will leave a run of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games left to get ready for the playoff run. Right now, you're looking at the Atlanta Dream, or you're looking at the Phoenix Mercury, which should be very interesting considering all the plots around.
Here's the cold, uncomfortable truth that everyone knows but few are willing to say out loud. Before Caitlin Clark's groin injury sidelined her on July 15th, Indiana Fever games were pulling in an astounding 1.81 million viewers on average. The second she was out of the rotation, that momentum evaporated. Viewership nosedived to 847,000. That's a staggering 53% drop. A blow that hit the WNBA like a runaway freight train loaded with hard facts and painful reality.
Do this intelligently. No one person means as much to their league, whatever league it is, as Caitlin Clark means to the WNBA. And no person has done more for their league than what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA. Patrick Mahomes does not mean that much to the NFL. Steph Curry does not mean that much to the NBA. LeBron James does not mean that much to the NBA. She is a monster. When we look back on this, Caitlin Clark will be for the WNBA what Magic Johnson and Larry Bird were.
But the situation only spiraled further. During Clark's absence, national WNBA viewership across all games plunged by a staggering 155%. Just pause and think about that. More than half of the league's total audience vanished simply because one player was missing. That's not ordinary star power. That's an entire business model resting on a single athlete's shoulders. It's the kind of dependency that would make even the most seasoned executive lose sleep at night.
You can't tell me that the Caitlin Clark effect isn't real. You knew when news broke yesterday that Caitlin Clark was going to be out for a few weeks, that ticket prices were going to go down, but I never expected them to go down 71% for the rivalry game. I can't help but laugh because the first thing that I thought of when I saw this was a quote that we got last year from Angel Reese when she was talking about how people don't just watch the WNBA for Caitlin. They watch it because of her as well. Hate to say it, those numbers don't lie. They're watching because of Caitlin.
The ticket market told the same devastating story. Fever games that were commanding 137 average ticket prices with Clark in the lineup suddenly became 80 bargain basement experiences. When the Chicago Sky faced Indiana without both Clark and Angel Reese, tickets that once sold for $86 dropped to an embarrassing $25. Even premium matchups saw prices crash from $210 to $95, with the cheapest seats falling from $86 to all the way down to $25. Teams that had moved games to larger venues expecting Clark to play were left holding the bag when she couldn't suit up. The Washington Mystics relocated their contest to Baltimore specifically to accommodate Clark crowds, only to watch ticket prices nosedive from $41 to $14 when she was ruled out.
Sky tickets dropped 71% on TickPick after Caitlin Clark injury. The get-in price for the Chicago Sky versus Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever game was $86. After Caitlin Clark's injury announcement is now down to $25. And you Angel Reese fangirls will still believe and think that Angel Reese is the reason why people are watching the
Sports economist Ryan Brewer projected that Clark's economic impact could reach $1 billion this season. And those aren't just inflated numbers designed to generate headlines. That's merchandising, tourism, television deals, and everything else that comes with being a cultural phenomenon that transcends basketball. Her presence alone was valued at approximately $340 million for the Fever franchise, transforming them from a below-average organization into the league's most valuable property. The ripple effects extend far beyond Indianapolis.
On the verge of seeing Caitlin Clark become bigger than the sport herself. WNBA viewing attendance is up over 200% since she joined the league. The Indiana Fever actually are outselling the Pacers, averaging over 17,000 attendance per game. That's crazy. $1 billion is the estimated increase in WNBA valuation based on Caitlin Clark alone. $1 billion. Now, this is up about 25% from the total economic value. Crazy to see these kind of numbers. I think we're on the verge of seeing something like MJ Tiger, where the average consumer goes to the TV because of something.
When Clark plays on the road, ticket prices increase by an average of 140%, with the average resale price reaching $312. Out of the 10 best-selling WNBA games on StubHub this season, every single one involved the Fever. Dick's Sporting Goods reported a 233% increase in WNBA merchandise sales compared to the previous season, while Fanatics saw all WNBA merchandise sales surged by over 500%. Clark ranks among the top 20 selling athletes across all sports and sits sixth among basketball players, including NBA stars. Her Nike deal is reportedly worth $28 million over 8 years, dwarfing her $76,535 WNBA salary and highlighting the massive disconnect between her value to the league and her compensation.
Caitlin Clark's agent, Aaron Kane, said Caitlin will never be paid what she's worth by the WNBA because it is quite literally impossible for them to pay her what she's worth. An economist at Indiana University Columbus calculated that Caitlin Clark was responsible for $36 million in economic impact to the city of Indianapolis, and that she is responsible for 27% of the entire WNBA's economic activity for this past season, including attendance, merchandise sales, and television. One player in a big league responsible for 27% of the
here is what makes Clark's impending return even more dramatic. The Indiana Fever have been operating in full crisis mode since she went down. Both of their backup point guards, Ari McDonald and Sydney Coulson, suffered season-ending injuries in their August 7th game against Phoenix Mercury, leaving the team scrambling to sign 12-year veteran Odyssey Sims to a hardship contract. During Clark's absence, the Fever managed a respectable 6-4 record over their last 10 games, including a dominant 9-2-70 victory over the Chicago Sky, while playing with only 9 available players. Kelsey Mitchell stepped into the point guard role magnificently, dropping 26 points and 8 assists with just 1 turnover against Chicago. Aaliyah Boston has been posting video game numbers, shooting 78% from the field over a 4 a.m. stretch without Clark. But here's the uncomfortable truth that everyone in the organization understands. This is borrowed time. The Fever can survive without Clark for stretches, but they cannot thrive. They cannot become championship contenders. They cannot sustain the massive television audiences and ticket sales that have transformed them from irrelevant to indispensable. Sophie Cunningham herself admitted they look like a different team with Clark and without Clark.